Alright folks, it's Will Waldrop again. Today we are going to reload 45 ACP. Got my 3-die set there. It's a carbide set. Got my scale. Today I'm going to use accurate number 2 powder. I prefer number 5 or number 7, but these days and age you get powder where you can get powder, and he had number 2. The only thing he had in number 5 was a huge I think it's 8-pound deal of powder. So I said, no, I'm good. And then of course I got my screwdriver. That's my hand primer using CCI large pistol primers. Got my 50 shells lined up. Got my 50 bullets lined up. What I'm using here is just it's basically old stuff. It's 230 grain FMJs. Just simple ball ammo. But my 45 will shoot relatively easy. There's a reloading guide. You know, it's not going to do as much good today because the only load information it has is for the 185. But I went online to Accurate's website, and there's actually another place called handloaders.com that I went to that also gives you the load data that you need. Today we're going to be using 5.5 grams of number 2. And up here on my shelf, let me find it. There it is. I've got Hardy XTP, brand new box of it. But for today, and there's some old stuff right there. That's 185 grain semi-wide cutters. So, but for today's purpose, we're just going to load these ball ammo. Like I said, I've already de-primed all these shells. All of them's already had the primer taken out. What I'm probably going to wind up doing is just cleaning up the primer holes. Prime them. Well, first thing I'm going to do is set up the die with the resizer. So hang on, let me get the camera set up for y'all.
Alright folks, sorry about that. I didn't realize the battery had died. So I've been going on with the dead battery. All I did was put the expander die into my die set and expand the case mounts. What I'm doing now is priming each one. That's where I stopped off at. I gotta do it the old-fashioned way with the hand primer. It's not that bad. Stick it in there, load the shell, and squeeze. And one prime shell. There you go. Now if you'll notice while I'm doing this, I'm not pointing it at me or my body, I'm pointing it away towards the wall. So if anything happens for whatever reason, I'm not getting hurt and nobody else. Basically I'm going to do this for all 50 and then we'll come right back. Like I said, all we're doing is priming with the hand primer. Real simple tool, I like it. And then we'll move on to seating and crimping, and I'll show you all that set. Alright folks, all 50 cases have been primed. Clean powder bowl. I'll pour a little bit in here. And 5.5 is not a lot, folks. It's really not. So, with this, a little bit will go a long way. Always put your lid back on your powder. You don't want to knock that over. My general rule, folks, is I have to get the same reading twice before I go with that reading. 5.6, 5.5, 5.5, and dump it. And then move on to the next shell. 5.5, 5.5 twice. Remember, I have to have the same number twice. You don't have to, but that's just kind of my way of double checking everything. So, to each their own. Make sure you stay in order. Don't put a double charge. That's why I like to put mine on a loading block and go in order on the block. I do have a powder thrower, but as I've stated, I inherited a lot of my stuff, so I'm not exactly sure on how to set up the charge, and I don't really feel like messing with it. 5/6. Let's see if we can get 5/6 again. We have 5/6 twice. Now we're going to come over here and add it into this shell. Alright. We just keep going down the line until we get all 50 of them done. Now yes, it would be a lot faster if I used my powder thrower. But like I said, not sure how to adjust it, and I really don't feel like messing with it right now. So I'm going to pause it while I do all these, and then I'll show you the next step. Alright folks, it's done, finally. All 50. I will definitely be figuring out how to set up that powder thrower. That took way too long. And I'll do a segment on lessons learned and explained everything I've learned so far through trial and error, so maybe it will help to prevent you from making some of the same mistakes. Some of it's just trial and error. Only way you're going to learn is to get out there, do it, and make some mistakes. As long as you learn from them, you're good to go. Now at this step, what we're going to do is check every one. Make sure they look all about even. No double fills. None that doesn't have any in it. So far they all look pretty good. Alright everybody, what I did was I got my die in here, got everything set. According to the book, maximum is 1.275. We're sitting on about 1.270. Just kind of checked it. I believe I got my crimp set right. We'll find out here shortly. Now the easy part, you just there you go. We're going to check the length on this one, make sure I got everything right. 1.270. It seems to be pretty consistent. So I just want to make sure I got my crimp right. What I might do afterwards is, I was told you could just back the seat out of it and just run it up in there and it'll crimp it automatically. And I might run it back through like that at the end of it. I'm trying to do this so y'all can see. I'm going to set those aside because I haven't checked them yet. There you have it. Alright. I had two back to back that looked low, so what you do is you just kind of put them up here. Oh, this one's 1.260. 26. 26. 265. If you run into that, just make sure everything's kind of tight and you're good to go. 0.265. Alright, all 50 rounds have been loaded, so now what I'm fixing to do, I'm going to take this out. I'm leaving the die itself. I'm just taking the seat plug out. Now what this is going to do Let me get it out here. It's the crimps built in on a rock chucker. It's built into the seating die. So if you look down there, I don't know if the camera's going to work. There it goes. If you look down there, you can kind of see the taper. That's what we're fixing to mess with. It's just the taper. So I'm fixing to see if I can't get just a little bit more crimp on these, or well, taper crimp. What I'll do is shine my light, and it's going up in there pretty solid. I mean, it's actually crimping pretty good. So I'll probably go ahead and just leave them the way they are. They look like they got a pretty good crimp on them. So we'll leave them as they are. That's another way you can double check yourself. Just kind of do it like I just did. You're not sure your crimp, you want to make sure it's holding, got it set right. And a lot of it depends on what your gun likes too. You got to figure out what your gun wants to be fed and then feed it what it likes. Does you no good to go through all this trouble if you're not going to pay attention. If your gun starts shooting weird, you know, back the powder off, lessen the crimp, tighten the crimp, but only do one thing at a time to adjust your problem. That way, you know, if it gets worse, well, you can back it back off and fix your problem. Or if it gets better, you'll know to start going in the right direction. But that's going to be it for the day, folks. Hope y'all tune in again, subscribe, like our channel, leave feedback, tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what you like and what you don't like. Thanks, y'all have a good evening.